Hey YouTubers, it's me, Zuster. Yeah, I'm back. I just got done having a big long discussion with Fantastic Babblings. And let me tell you, what a great guy. He's let me stay at his apartment for like 4 days through the whole 777 thing, which is going to save me a frickin' fortune. So, yo, FB, I owe you dinner and then some, but don't get any ideas. Anyway, so yeah, we're talking, and minds start to wander. And I started telling a story, and I said, "Wait a minute, this is a YouTube story." And I'm thinking, "Ooh, maybe it isn't." Okay, but it is, because you know me, I just spill my guts about everything. Okay, so this is like maybe 1980, 81. Yeah, the old days, kids. It was just around the time that the Another Pretty Face album was coming out. And so we decided that we needed to hire a publicist. They're the people who like make sure that you get in all the magazines, all the music magazines and all that stuff, and your pictures all over the place and blah, blah, blah. So in this office, they were called the Press Box, I think was the name of the agency. Yeah, it was the Press Box. So they had a whole bunch of publicists that worked there, on individual projects. And we were assigned to one. Let's call her Harriet. Okay. She was also at the time that we were there, she was doing David Lee Roth and Blondie and Prince and Cheap Trick and a whole bunch of people. So I'm like thrilled. I'm like, oh, I can't believe that, my name's lumped in with all these people. So great. So anyway, I spent a lot of time with Harriet because I was the front man of the band. So she was basically, coming to me for information to put out in the publicity, whatever the hell they call all that shit, whatever. So we started getting close, and I started, we'd go out to dinner, and I'd tell her stories about my life and stuff. She's like, "Oh my God, you got to write a book about this." I'm like, "I don't even know how to write a book." Meanwhile, Henrietta had already, we'll edit that. Henrietta had already written 2 books that were published. So I'm like, "Well, hey, if you want to put the time into it, I'm fine." So she's like, "Okay, well, like on nights off, you can come down to my apartment." She lived on like 72nd Street in New York or something. I was living in my little apartment in Yonkers at the time. So I would like take the train down. We'd write for a while, then we'd have dinner. And all we ever ate though was like steak and super chunk peanut butter. It was very weird. Anyway, so then, after a long night of writing and eating and other things, she would be like, "You're not taking the train home." So I would sleep over at her apartment, and it was a 1-bedroom with a queen-size bed. No problem. I don't care. So, yeah, so I started sleeping over at her apartment. And then I was making a movie. I love to call them movies. I bought like video equipment like as soon as it was made available to the public. Okay, I've been fascinated with movies and video and 8mm. I mean, ever since I was a kid, I've been walking around with an 8mm camera. So this YouTube stuff is nothing new to me, except that you reach a much bigger audience. But anyway, so I had planned this movie called The Sibling, about a guy who's like babysitting his retarded sister and blah blah blah. Anyway, I asked Henrietta if she would play the retarded sister, and she's like, "Yeah, sure." So I've got video documentation of this if anybody doubts this story. Okay, it's fine. So she comes up, and it took like 8 hours or something to film the movie and blah blah blah, and then it was like well, then she was going to sleep over at my house. No problem. So we go to bed, and now I don't have a queen-size bed. I have a double bed, so it's a little closer proximity. Whatever. I'd slept over her house a million times, no problem. So we go to sleep. Well, I went to sleep, and all of a sudden I wake up. There was some kind of activity going on. Oh my God. Henrietta is doing stuff. I'm like, "What are you doing?" She said, "Don't you like it?" I'm like, "Hello, it's you. No." And she was like, "Okay, can we just forget this ever happened?" I'm like, "Okay." But I never could. What a weird world we live in, huh? Okay. I can't go on. Okay. I am verklempt now. I truly am. Have a great night, everybody. And I'll talk to you soon. I love you.
Yahoo Mail.
Thank you. Thank you, Christine. I'll be right over for my mail. Thank you.